Now let's look at application number 4, and that is electric field due to a uniformly charged sheet. If you can recall, we have done it in case if you have a uniformly charged sheet and it's a thin sheet, then electric field due to that is sigma by 2 epsilon naught. And here this electric field is independent of the distance. It is just sigma by 2 epsilon naught. But for this, the condition is it has to be a large sheet and a thin sheet. And if it is a thin sheet, and on the other hand, we are given a case where we have a thick sheet. In case of thick sheet of charge, where the thickness is such good that we should in fact consider two layers of the charge density here, then the electric field here will be sigma by epsilon naught. So looking at this aspect, let's look at question number 15 here. There is a charge of 17.7 into 10 to the power minus 4 coulomb distributed uniformly over a large sheet of area 200 meters square. You have a large sheet here given, and this large sheet has an area of 200 meters square. And the total charge which is distributed on this is 17.7 into 10 to the power minus 4 coulomb. So here we will have a charge density which is Q by A. So it will be 17.7 10 to the power minus 4 divided by area 200 meters square. So charge density would come out to be 8.85 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb per meter square. Now we want, the area is so high, 200 meters square, and at a distance 20 centimeter from it, we want electric field. Now electric field should be, if it is a thin sheet, then it should be sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So electric field should have value 8.85 10 to the power minus 6 divided by 2, and epsilon naught is 8.85 10 to the power minus 12. So electric field should be in fact 0.5 into 10 to the power 6. So here I should make it 2 times, and this is 0.5 into 10 to the power 6 Newton per coulomb. So simple question, straight question on electric field due to a uniformly charged sheet which is thin. Question number 16, next question. There is a charged particle having a charge minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb and is placed close to a non-conducting plate having surface charge density 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb per meter square. You have a plate here, and this plate has a surface charge density 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb per meter square. And I am keeping a charge here with a value minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb. Find the force of attraction. Find the force of attraction between the particle and the plate. So due to this, the electric field would be here sigma by 2 epsilon naught, and if you are looking for the force of attraction, because it's a negative charge, so force will be QE. So that force of attraction will be Q into sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So charge is how much? 2 into 10 to the power minus 6. Charge density is 4 into 10 to the power minus 6, and 2, 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. And as a result, the force of attraction will be 0.45 Newton. Remember, this electric field has a value which is independent of its distance from the plate. Now in the same sequence, I would take question number 18 first before question number 17. Question number 18 is in the same series. There is a particle of mass 9 into 10 to the power minus 5 gram, and is kept over a large horizontal sheet. Here mass is also given. In the previous question, just we were told about a particle having some charge, what will be the force by the sheet. But in this case, we are provided a horizontal sheet. We are provided with a horizontal sheet of charge density 5 into 10 to the power minus 5 coulomb per meter square. And there is a particle of mass 9 into 10 to the power minus 5 gram that is kept over it. What charge should be given to the particle? So how much should be the charge on it so that it does not fall, it remain balanced in air? So for this we would say, due to this charge sheet, it is going to experience a force QE and it is going to experience a weight mg. Now for balance, QE should be equal to weight. Now charge, how much charge should be given to this mass? And mass is 9 into 10 to the power minus, so QE, so Q and electric field will be sigma by 2 epsilon naught. And mass will be 9 into 10 to the power minus 5 gram. So 9 into 10 to the power minus 3 minus 10 to the power minus 5. Then only we will have this mass in kilogram into G. Let's put the value of G as 9.8. So the value of charge will be 2 epsilon naught into 9 into 10 to the power minus 8 into 9.8 divided by charge density, and charge density is 5 into 10 to the power minus 5. So as a result, we will be getting the charge on it, which is 3.12 into 10 to the power minus 13 coulomb. So this is question number 18. That is another question where the electric field, electric force was balancing the weight of that mass which is hanging in air above it. Simple question. Question number 19 is another direct question. In question number 19, we are provided 3 plates. This is a plate having surface charge density sigma in z-axis. This is another plate, we would say, and it has a surface charge density minus 2 sigma. And we have third plate, it is also have surface charge density minus sigma. So there are 3 plates and it is the z-axis. Here it is z-axis. Obviously these plates can be in xy plane, and this is the z-axis. The coordinates here are z is equal to minus a. Position doesn't matter. Here the coordinate is z is equal to plus a. Here the coordinate is z is equal to 3a. It means somewhere here is z is equal to 0. Now the point is, what will be the electric field intensity at a point P here? So I would say at this point P, due to this positive charge, there will be electric field intensity sigma by 2 epsilon naught away from it, and due to this negative charge also it will be 2 sigma by epsilon naught downward, 2 sigma by epsilon naught downward. Due to this negative charge it is towards it, and due to this negative charge also it will be sigma by 2 epsilon naught. This is 2 sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Here the charge density is minus 2 sigma. So due to this negative, the electric field would be here, that is 2 sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So if I say what is the net electric field at point P, it will be 2 sigma by 2 epsilon naught downward plus sigma y2 epsilon naught downward plus sigma y2 epsilon naught downward. So the electric field will be 4 sigma y2 epsilon naught and downward. So if I am writing this electric field, or it is 2 sigma by epsilon naught, and if I am writing this electric field in vector form, because it is all downward, so we can call it minus 2 sigma by epsilon naught into k unit vector. Minus k unit vector, because it is in minus z direction, downward direction. So this is how question number 19. Question number 20 says, if a small piece of radius r is removed from a charged spherical shell of radius a, you have a spherical shell of radius a. You have a spherical shell of radius a, and it may have a charge density sigma. The shell of radius a has a charge density sigma. Now what is done is that from this shell of radius a, we are removing a small part of radius r, where a is very big as compared to r. So we are removing a small part of radius r. Or if I leave this, I am saying that we are removing a small part of radius r from here. Question is, calculate electric field at midpoint of the aperture. So how much will be the electric field at midpoint of this aperture here, in this situation when this part of radius r is removed? How much is the electric field at this point of aperture? So I am just drawing it again in a normal situation. In a normal situation, if I say that you have a radius a of the shell, and this shell has a charge density sigma, if we ask you, what do you think is the electric field at a point just outside or at the surface of a charged shell of radius a? So the electric field there should be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by a square. It behaves as though the whole charge is situated at center. And thus that q can be written as 4 pi a square into sigma. So the value of electric field will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 4 pi a square into sigma by a square. Now this 4 pi gets cancelled, a square gets cancelled. So the electric field here is sigma by epsilon naught. So the electric field just outside is what? Sigma by epsilon naught. If I treat this electric field, which is sigma by epsilon naught here, because of the two reasons, and these two reasons are, one is the electric field due to this part which is charged, it will provide an electric field here, and that is due to this part which is charged, it will provide an electric field here sigma by 2 epsilon naught. And second is electric field due to this charge, this will provide an electric field here sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Because you know, a small sheet of charge or a sheet of charge will obviously provide electric field what? Sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So if I treat the electric field at this point due to, at the outer point due to this small portion of radius r, its value will be sigma by 2 epsilon naught. And the total electric field here is what? Sigma by epsilon naught. It means the electric field due to the rest part is what? Sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So I think it is clear. Electric field due to the whole is sigma by epsilon naught. Electric field due to this sheet of charge will be sigma by 2 epsilon naught, and thus, and where the net electric field is sigma by epsilon naught, so electric field due to this rest part will be sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Now if I am told in the question that this part is removed, it means the electric field of this will be removed. It means this total electric field will be no longer sigma by epsilon naught. So the only electric field which will be now here is what? Sigma by 2 epsilon naught, and it is due to this part which is left over. So question is, if a small piece of radius r is removed from a charged spherical shell, calculate electric field at midpoint of the aperture. So the electric field at midpoint of the aperture will be what? Sigma by 2 epsilon naught. And that's how is this question number 20. Have a look at question number 17 now. Question number 17 says, there is a non-conducting sheet of large surface area and thickness d. So you have a sheet, in fact, and this sheet of large surface area, so it's a huge sheet, you can assume it's a huge sheet and it has thickness d, and it's a non-conducting, it means insulating material. It is insulating material, and it has a charge distribution, charge density rho. So it has a volume charge density which is rho. Find electric field at a point inside the plate. Somewhere at a point P you are looking for electric field, where it is at a distance d from center, x from center, x is less than d. So if I am interested in finding the electric field at point P, which is at a distance x from center, I should apply Gauss theorem, as we were finding the electric field using Gauss theorem in application cases. Similarly, we will do it here, and we will assume first, let's assume a Gaussian surface whose shape should be preferably same as that of the source charge, and point P lies on it. So first I will assume a Gaussian surface such that point P lies on it. So I have assumed a Gaussian surface which is this time a cuboid of this kind, and point P lies on it. Now there will be an electric field, area, similarly electric flux, electric field into area, where on this side and other side it won't be there, the electric EA cos 90 will be 0. So we will say net flux is equal to charge inside by epsilon naught. Net flux will be EA plus EA, EA left and right, and charge inside will be its volume. Volume charge density will be rho, its area will be A of each side, and the gap here, this is x plus x, 2x by epsilon naught. So the electric field comes out to be rho x by epsilon naught here. So this was another question on the similar concept. Now you have done many questions on this fourth application also, electric field due to a charge sheet. We are in a position to take up the NCERT questions on this concept now.